everyone, and welcome. I am Miss Jamie, one of the program facilitator at Malvern Family Resource Center. Let's start off with our welcome song to welcome everyone. Hello, hello, how are you? Hello, hello, how are you? Hello, hello, how are you? How are you today? Welcome, and let's start program now. Hello everyone. March 12th, it's going to be Plant a Flower Day. So excited for it, right? Well, today we are going to be talking about planting and plants, and we're actually going to be planting something too. Well, I understand that not everyone will be able to plant outside. Maybe there's no space or the weather's not permitting. But no worries, today Miss Jamie has prepared some simple planting activities that you can do them indoors. That's right, super simple. Oh, and Miss Jamie has some fun songs and craft to do with you as well. Can't wait to start program with you. Hello everyone, this is our book for today, and this is called Max Plants a Seed, a book about the life cycle of a sunflower. Yep, so we are going to see what Max is going to do. And this is book over here, the cover page of the book. As you can see, there is a beautiful sunflower. Looks very pretty. And this book, it's by Carrie Dinmont. So let's start the book. Today, Max plants a sunflower seed. So this is a sunflower seed. You can use it for growing plants, or you can also use this for eating. Have you had a seed before? You can crack open the shell, and inside there's a little seed that you can eat. So it's pretty tasty. Miss Jamie likes it too. Have you tried it before? How will it grow? We wonder too. How does it turn from this little seed into a sunflower? And by the way, boys and girls, look at this seed. What color is it? We have black here and we have white. I wonder too, how can that turn into a beautiful yellow sunflower like this? Max plants the seed where it will get a lot of sunlight. He waters it. Yep. So first you need to find a place that will get lots of sunlight. So should we put it under a table? No, I don't think we should plant anything under a table because it won't get any sunlight. How about in the basement? No, I don't think so too. Usually basements, they don't get a lot of sunlight there either. So look around your home or maybe even outside. Where do you think it's a spot that will get lots of sunlight and will see Mr. Sun all the time? Maybe a balcony, if you have a balcony, or maybe near a window. Yes, the window will get lots of sunlight. If you have a garden outside, your garden in front or behind your house in the backyard, you get lots of sunlight there too. And then don't forget, we need to put some water in. The seed soaks up water. Roots start to grow out of the seed. So as you can see, there are these thingies here. These are called roots. It comes from the seed. Yep, that's right. So after the seed gets wet, these roots will come out. Then a stem grows out of the seed. This all happens under the soil. So can you see this is our seed, and then the root comes out. The root comes out over here, and then the stem comes out too. The roots, they grab onto the soil to get more water, because just like how you need water, the plants, the seed, they also need water in order for it to grow. The stem comes out of the soil 11 days after Max planted. The stem, it's tiny. That's right. Look at it. Look at how small it is, and it comes out of the soil. So for 11 days, ooh, that's really long, right? For 11 days, it's sleeping under the soil, and then we see it come out. How exciting, right? I can't wait to see how it's going to turn into the flower. The stem grows taller. It starts to grow leaves. Oh, look at the stem. How is it different now? We see there are 2 leaves on top. Wow, very cool. Boys and girls, have you seen this before? Maybe sometimes when you're walking around in your neighborhood or maybe at the park, you can look around, or maybe in your school, to look around to see if you see any of these like little small plants. They are very, very small, but they are slowly growing taller and taller, just like how you guys are growing taller each day. A flower grows on the top. The flower makes hundreds of seeds. Yes, so on top of the stem, we see this flower. Yay, finally it comes out. And let's look all around. These are the seeds. Yes, and from just one seed, we got a flower that makes hundreds of seeds. Wow, isn't that amazing? Yep, I love it. It's really cool. One seed turned into 100 seeds. That's kind of like magic, right? Love it. Max collects the seeds. He will plant seeds again next year. So here are the seeds that he has collected. We got some soil on them because he probably just got it from the plant. And we can keep it and wait till next year. Then we can plant again to get more sunflowers and more plants. What seeds would you like to plant? Yep, so Max here, he was planting sunflowers. How about you, boys and girls? What would you like to plant? Would you like some vegetables, or would you like some flowers? There's lots of things that you can plant. Which ones do you like? Oh, so that is the end of our story. Boys and girls, hope you enjoy this. Boys and girls, today we are going to be pretty flowers. So we're going to start off as a little seed in a flower pot. So can you show me the flower pot like this? Yes, and we're going to go a little bit lower. So squat, everyone. And this is a flower pot. I'm a little flower pot Mom put out. If you take care of me, I will sprout. When you water me, I will grow and grow into a pretty flower, don't you know? Pretty easy, right? Should we plant the flower again? Boys and girls, show me your pot again. And then we're gonna squat a little bit. You ready? Here we go. I'm a little flower pot Mom put out. If you take care of me, I will sprout. When you water me, I will grow and grow into a pretty flower, don't you know? Yay! So I turned into a pretty flower. How about you, boys and girls? Maybe you turn into some other plants or some vegetables too. Lots of different things that you can plant. What do you want to plant today? Since we are celebrating Plant a Flower Day in today's program, of course we are going to be making a flower craft together. Well, today we are going to be making a flower from some paper. So here is my sheet of white paper for the background. And then we have some paper here. I chose red today because I wanted to make a red flower. And then I have green here for the leaves. Here's my stamp for the flower. We're going to be talking parts of the flower as well. And then I got some twine. Yes, two twines. Yes. So boys and girls, if you don't have any strings or twine at home, no worries. You can always use a marker for drawing that out. And then Jamie will need some scissors for cutting the twine, and then we got glue for putting pieces together. And boys and girls, of course, if you don't have any of these materials, no worry, you can always participate by bringing out a marker and then a sheet of paper, and you can draw your very own flower. Let's start off with drawing a line here for the ground. So I have my brown marker. Oh, let's pull this out. And here is a line. Something like this. Doesn't have to be straight, because if you look at the ground, it's not flat and straight either, right? Up next, I'm going to take out my popsicle stick. I'm going to put this over here for the stamp. I'm going to bring out my glue. So here's my white glue. I'm gonna take a little bit of glue like this, and I'm going to add the glue all over to my popsicle stick. Spread out the glue like this. Okay, and then we're going to stick this on in the middle. Let's push it down for 5 seconds, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice, nice. Push, push, push. Okay, so don't touch it. We're gonna leave it here and let it dry. Up next, we're going to make the flower. So today, Miss Jamie has prepared some red paper. You can always use your scissors to cut out different pieces. Today, Miss Jamie's just going to do ripping. So I'm gonna rip them out like this. So even for young children, they can practice their fine motor skills, their fine finger muscles by ripping these out. So while children are ripping, they might rip it into big pieces like this. Of course, you can use big pieces to form your flower. If you want them to be smaller, parents, maybe you can just rip them smaller afterwards. But remember that bigger pieces are easier for children's hands. The fine pieces, the very small one, are harder for them to handle. So even after you have helped them with ripping it down to smaller pieces, it might be a little hard for their fingers to handle and to glue it on here. Yep, so big pieces are fine as well. And if your children are starting to learn how to use the scissors, then of course you can ask them to cut out any shapes they want or irregular shapes as well for just practicing how to handle scissors and coordinate it in your hands. Okay, so I think this is enough, might be even more than enough. I'm going to take some glue, I'm going to put it onto the paper here, and we're gonna put a piece on. So you can always put the glue onto your sheet like this, and then flip it over to stick it on. But I find it easier to put it directly on the page here, and then we'll put the pieces on like this. So you can even spread out the glue, see how you want to leave it, put it here, and then we're going to add these on. Just like this. Yep, so it will be easier for you to handle. Then one more piece, let's put these ones on. It's kind of like a collage where you can put all the pieces on in whichever way you like. And every time you do it, it's going to be different. Oh, I just got an idea. Maybe next time you can do different colors too, instead of just having one color. So you will have a collage of different colors of paper pieces everywhere. It might look very cool. Okay, so I'm gonna add more glue here. You can add the glue on wherever you want your child to put the pieces on. And then for them to just randomly stick these pieces on. And no worries if you have too much glue around here, you'll just let it dry afterwards. But please make sure not to add too much glue to it because you don't want the paper to get too soaking wet. So you can kind of draw out the shape of your flower by using the glue, and then you can stick these pieces on. And as you can see, my pieces, they don't stick on completely, which I did on purpose because now it looks more 3D, right? Kind of like the petals of the flowers too, as they are moving in the wind, or they're never flat. So I think it looks more realistic this way. So that's why your pieces like these ones, they don't have to stick completely. Yep, as long as they're not falling off, then they should be fine. Let's cover this spot here. So this is what we have. If you wanted to add more to it, feel free to. What do you think, boys and girls? What do you think of my flower? I'm just going to let it dry here for now. I still have some extra pieces here. I'm going to put it to the side. Up next, we are going to use green. Green for the leaves over here. So we're going to do the same thing. This time we're going to be ripping green out for the leaves. So same thing, you don't have to rip out small pieces. Big pieces also work. Let's take one more piece. Here we go. Let's see, I'm going to add a leaf. Let's add some glue. Let's add some glue over here for the leaf. So glue here and glue here. One leaf on each side. Then let's put the pieces on. Pieces on like this. Let's put a piece on over here. And then let's put another piece over here. What do you think, friends? Does it look nice? Do you like my flower? Yep, so as you can tell that these, they don't look exactly like the shape of the leaves, but that's fine because you can already tell that they resemble leaves. And this is my red flower. Okay, up next, we are going to move on to the roots. We're going to have roots on the bottom. Yes, so this is the ground. This is underneath the ground. Usually we don't get to see what's underground, right? Because it's covered with soil or grass or dirt. But today, Miss Jamie is going to show you. We're going to take these twines over here and we're going to be making some roots with them. So you can cut them out in a different length, doesn't matter how long, not too long though, so around maybe this long because we wanted to make some roots underground. And you don't have to make it straight like this. You can curve it a little bit too, but around this length is what we want. We're gonna cut this out. And I'm gonna cut out a couple of these. So once again, friends, I know not everyone have this at home. You can use different things like yarn or different strings too. And if you don't have any of these, no worries. You can even just use markers. And if you don't have markers at home, I'm sure a pen will work as well. Okay, so let's use these for now. I got a couple of them here. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to take the glue. Oh, hold on, let's take some more glue. I'm going to put it here. Add some glue to the bottom of our flower. And then I'm going to stick this one on. You might have to dip the twine in glue first. And then you can stick it on. See, it sticks on like this. And if you want to, you can stick the rest of it. But I've decided to leave the tip loose like that. You can also try to just put the entire piece into the glue here, but it might get a little messy. So you can take some glue with the spatula and then Just add it on like this too. Let's add a second piece of roots on. Push it down. Make sure it stays. Let's add some more glue here. Second piece on. Like this. Push and hold it down. Yep, just like that. Let's add one right underneath over here. Let's add a piece over here, like this. Stick it on. Yep. So after you work with this, you might get glue on your fingers, but no worries, you can always wash it off afterwards. And did you know the roots, not all of them come up or come out from the stem here, but the roots will branch out, kind of like a tree. So I'm going to add another roots over here, branching out from this one. So I'm gonna pick a shorter piece and I'm gonna add it here, like this. And then maybe one last piece. I'm going to add it, maybe add it over here, stamping out like that. Let's have it stick out like this. There we go. Ta-da! Do these look like roots? What do you think, friends? And of course, if you wanted to add more to it, maybe you can have some bees, because bees like to come to the flowers to make honey, or maybe you can add some butterflies or birds or some animals too. Oh, and do you know who lives underground? There could be worms and different types of insects and bugs that helps to loosen up the soil, and that will be easier for the roots to get down and deep, and then to get more water from underneath the ground. So this is our flower. We have the flower here, some petals. This is the stem. We have leaves here, and we have roots under the ground, getting water, bringing it up in the stem towards the flower. Here we go. These are the parts of the flower. Today we are going to review the different parts of the plant and see what each part does. Do you know the parts of the plant? Parts of the plants? Do you know the parts of the plants? Parts of the plants, all kinds of plants that grow and grow. Do you know the parts of the plants? Parts of the plants. The roots hold the plant in place, plant in place. The roots hold the plant in place, plant in place. The roots store food and water too. The roots hold the plant in place, plant in place. The stem move water up the plants, up the plants. The stem move water up the plants, up the plants. The stem brings water to the leaves. The stem moves water up the plants, up the plants. The leaves soak up the sun, soak up the sun. The leaves soak up the sun, soak up the sun. The leaves help bring the sun to the plants. The leaves soak up the sun, soak up the sun. The flower grow and make more seeds, make more seeds. The flower grow and make more seeds, make more seeds. So more flowers can be planted from the seeds. The flower grow and make more seeds, make more seeds. Boys and girls, did you like the song? Yes, you did. Yup, that's good. So let's talk about the different parts again. These are the roots. They hold the plants in place. Yes, they are under the ground. They grab onto the soil so the plants can be steady up like this. And then there's water underneath the ground and the soil. And so they soak up and store some water and food. Now the water can go up the stem, and then the stem will move the water up like this, up the plants. And so these different parts, they get water as well. And then the leaves, they're going to soak up the sun. When Mr. Sun comes out, the leaves, they're going to get the sunshine from the sun because it helps the plant grow. Now lastly, here is the flower. It grows and it blooms and it makes more seed. So we're able to plant more flowers under the ground. Since it's Plant a Flower Day, of course, Miss Jamie is going to plant with you guys. But I don't have any seeds for flowers. Ta-da! I got some beans. That's right. So these will also work. You can take out a Ziploc bag for the container, or you can take out a cup like this. If you have a plastic cup, even better, so you can see the root and see how it grows out. You can also take out some tape for labeling, or if you are using a Ziploc bag, then you'll need some tape to tape this up against the window. You will need some paper here, tissue paper, or cotton balls. And lastly, you'll need some water. You guys have all the materials. Those are all pretty simple household materials that you can find. So let's start our planting. We are going to start off with using this cup. So let's take out some paper. You can fold it nicely and then we can put it inside like this, or you can just stuff it in. Make sure you have paper filling it up. Let's take another piece. Then we're going to stuff this one in as well. So far I have 3 pieces in here. 3 pieces, and this is what it looks like. I'm going to pour the water in and it should go down. Let's push it down a little bit. Adding more water to it. Push, push, push. Making sure that all parts of the paper has water touching it and it's wet. Okay, so if you're touching it and it's a little damp, then should be fine. Make sure it's not flooding with water, not too much water. So this is what it looks like right now. Just a little wet. And then we're going to put in our beans. So here is my little piece of bean. We're gonna drop it inside. Like this. You can put a couple in just in case one doesn't work. Then we'll have a couple of them to try. So you can leave them in the middle like this, or you can also take a bean and then you can leave it on the outside of the cup like this. See it? So you can see it when it grows. You'll be able to see the roots and how it grows. So it's gonna look very interesting. I'm going to add a bit more, a couple more between the paper and the cup like this. So let's add another one in. Let's add one in over here. Then let's add one in here. Here it is. Can you guys see it? Yes, right? Yeah, so here it is. Making sure that it's touching the paper towel, the wet paper towel. So hopefully it's gonna sprout and germinate. This is what it looks like. You can add a bit more water on it too if you would like, just not too much. I think this is good for now. So we're gonna leave this here, make sure it's getting sunlight, and we will see what happens to it. Now this time we are going to try using the Ziploc bag. Yep. So first let's open it. And then we are going to take the paper here, the tissue paper. We're going to fold it up. Fold it up. Yep, like this. And then I'm going to dip it into the water to make it wet. Turn it around. Dip it into the water. Not too wet though. If you got too much water, then maybe squeeze it a little bit up. Yep, squeeze it back up. Now we can put the paper inside like this. And then you can take your little beans and we're going to put it inside the paper. Yep, making sure that it's touching the paper and not just loose in the bottom of the bag. So you can add a couple of them in again to make sure that you get more chances of the little green beans sprouting. Leave them in. Okay, there we go. We're going to close the bag, close it completely. And no, very easy, right? All we'll need to do is to wait for it to start sprouting. Giving water to the plant is very important, but what's equally important is sunlight. So when Mr. Sun comes out, it will be able to shine on our plant over here. Yep, so that's why Miss JB taped our Ziploc bag onto the window to get the most sunlight possible. Boys and girls, did you have fun today? Because I had lots of fun learning about the different parts of the plant. Remember, this is the flower, the stem, the leaves, and the roots, right? And I had so much fun planting these seeds with you as well. So we got some beans over here. Can't wait for them to sprout. I don't know when they're gonna come out, but I'm going to be watching them every day. Oh, don't forget to leave them in a spot where Mr. Sun can see them, making sure they're getting water and sun. And you can observe it, you can touch it, see if the paper towel is still wet. If it's not, then you can add a little bit more water inside to keep it moist. Well, boys and girls, I'm super excited to see it sprout. While we wait for it, let's sing our bye-bye song together because it's almost time to go. It's time to say goodbye, so let's take out our microphone and sing a bye-bye song together. Bye, 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 bye. Bye, 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 bye. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for joining us today. I had so much fun with you. Feel free to subscribe to our channel and stay tuned for more videos. Hope to see you soon again. Bye-bye.